Thank you, Dan. Well, when it's so cold outside, we all start craving comfort food, but you don't have to blow your healthy eating plan with this recipe makeover. And Cox Eastes is here now from Kroger. You got a great idea for us today.
Well, I took an old recipe I hadn't made in years and took some of the fat out and tried to change the recipe up to be more healthy.
Yeah.
And we don't feel as guilty, but it still tastes great on cold days like this.
So we're making chicken tetrazzini.
Right. And if you have any leftover frozen turkey, that's also good to put in there too.
Okay.
But you're using cooked meat in here. So I've got like 6 to 8 ounces of cooked pasta, and I use the angel hair pasta. You could use the whole wheat if you want to. I just like the thin pasta, and I know they have the whole wheat.
Whole wheat's good too.
Yeah, thin spaghetti.
Okay.
Okay, so then I have, let's put 2½ cups of cooked chicken, which I went ahead and cubed. I did take the easy way out and bought the chicken breast strips that were already cooked, but I cut them up. And then I took 8 ounces of fresh mushrooms. Now you could save another tablespoon of butter if you use canned mushrooms, but I just like the color and the flavor of the fresh, so I took 8 ounces of them, sliced them up, put them in a skillet with a tablespoon of butter and sauteed them until they began to kind of change color. Put a ½ cup of chopped onion in there and a tablespoon of minced garlic. And then I added like 1/4 cup of either chicken broth or white wine, either one. And just stir that and set that aside.
Have you tried it with both the chicken broth and the white wine?
Yes.
Does it change the flavor much with the wine in it?
No.
Okay.
Doesn't. The aroma, well, it was
I'm sure that's
was
amazing.
the only thing that was different to me.
Yeah.
You can't really tell a lot of difference. Okay, and then I made a white sauce, but it's not as thick as a lot of your white sauces. I started out with 2 tablespoons of butter and 3 tablespoons of flour, and I dissolved that, and then you gradually add, and I used the lower sodium chicken broth, 2 cups of that, and let that kind of thicken up, and then I added a cup of fat-free half and half.
Okay.
So that's ways that you can reduce your favorite recipes to some of the fat and some of the calories. And then I'm going to pour this in there, and if you'll take your tongs and just kind of stir it all up together, we're going to put it in a casserole that I sprayed with vegetable spray, coated it with vegetable spray. And then we're going to mix all that up and bake it at 350 for about 30 to 35 minutes until it gets really bubbly. And right when you pour it in there, we're going to top it with some Parmesan cheese. But this is very tasty, and I do think it's like a comfort food, particularly this time of the year, and you don't feel as guilty.
Yeah.
It's very hearty. It serves 4 to 6, depending on how hearty your appetite is.
And this is a great thing, too, that you could take to somebody who's, just been in the hospital, or, put this in the freezer and you've got it ready when you need to take it.
Right, or take to potluck, anything along those lines. You'll just kind of spread that out there, and I'll sprinkle some Parmesan on top if you want to do that, and I'll put a little bit of the parsley on top to add a little color. We always like to have a little bit of color. You can put a ½ to 3/4 cup of that Parmesan cheese, just as much as you want to, and some parsley in there for a little color, because we do eat with our eyes as much as we do our taste buds.
We
want it to taste good.
Well, it smells like it's going to be really good. And thank you.
My pleasure.
Happy New Year to you.
Same to you.
Appreciate it. You can get this recipe in the Talk of the Town section at newschannel5.com. Now, let's head over to Leland.